It's been a little moment. It's been a bit of a moment since my last video. I understand that. I understand that I'm not been pumping out stuff as frequently as I'd necessarily like to. It's just that's just how it is. But I just wanted to get this video out there. The day of this, it's the night or the day before whatever the premiere, the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm making this video just so that I can get out ahead, so that I can give in my preliminary thoughts, so that in case I am right, I can say, I told you so, and have documented visual evidence. I am recording this at 6:14 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is before the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay? That's what this is about. My prediction, like there've been the preliminary reviews, IGN fucking 10 out of 10, as almost as good as GTA 5 or whatever, which was which only confirmed my previous suspicions. And my prediction for Red Dead Redemption 2 is that it's going to be mediocre, at least in comparison to Red Dead Redemption 1. Because if you didn't know, if you, kind of similarly to myself, are kind of fed up with Grand Theft Auto, you're kind of sick of the formula, and you thought that Red Dead Redemption was just Grand Theft Auto but cowboys, which is an understandable assumption to make. It is very similar in a lot of ways, mostly pertaining to the gameplay and stuff. So I can't necessarily blame one for making that assumption, because the praise that's generally lauded on Red Dead Redemption is similar to the kind of dude, it's fucking awesome, you can fuck a hooker, praise that's leveled on the GTA games. But Red Dead Redemption is actually really, really great. Because the problem with Grand Theft Auto games and stuff has never been the gameplay. It's okay. It's not the tightest controlling game in the world, but it plays fine. And I would say that Red Dead Redemption is a bit nicer to control than GTA 4 and even GTA 5. It's a little less stiff. But the primary reason why a lot of people, again, including myself, are kind of fed up with Grand Theft Auto is that the story it's just weak. The aesthetic is pretty played out at this point. The characters are there usually just isn't much to them. Like even in GTA 5, where you can tell that they really tried to appeal to a bunch of people. Like at the end of the day, there isn't really much to Franklin other than oh, he's kind of ambitious, but he's still a nice guy. Michael, oh, he's Michael is very openly a big stereotype, and then Trevor is just wacky man. And the plot is the same. Oh, I tried to get out, but they pulled me back in from Michael and shit. But Red Dead Redemption actually has a fantastic story, at least a handful of really memorable and deep and likable characters. The most important one being, as you would hope, although maybe not necessarily expect from a Rockstar game, John Marston, the protagonist, the playable character, is actually fleshed out really well, and really subtly over the course of your, however many dozens of hours long playthrough of Red Dead Redemption. John is... Well, I'm not going to go into a fucking analysis of John Marston's character, but suffice it to say, it is actually up there in terms of character writing with some of the best that uh, westerns, like westerns movies or novels, I guess, uh, have to offer. Um, and that again, it is a bit more divorced from the played out Grand Theft Auto aesthetic, which is very helpful in making the world fun to explore. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2, when I heard this was announced, I was I was shocked. I was confused. I was just like, why would? Well, I know why they would do it because Red Dead Redemption was really successful and very well received. But I'm like, from an artistic integrity perspective, I was like, why would they do this? Because another thing about Red Dead Redemption is that thematically, and also like structurally, because the game takes place in like fucking 1910 or whatever. It's about the end of the cowboy era. It's about, that kind of lifestyle coming to an end. And John Marston is, the exemplifier of that, being a guy who is trying to move on with his life, but his past catches up with him, and ultimately he can't survive in this new world of World War One. Because he dies. In case you didn't know that. So I'm like, Red Dead Redemption 2, like, that'd be like making fucking, that'd be like making, what's a movie that's about like, that'd be like making Titanic 2, or fucking 2002, A Space Odyssey. Like some goofy ass dumb shit like that. But they're doing it anyway, and it's set earlier in time than Red Dead Redemption 1, which, I mean, again, it kind of had to be, but, like, it's just so good, especially because it's a sequel to fucking Red Dead Revolver, which is just, like, a really goofy, funny little cowboy game, but, uh, you know, and then it's like, no, actually, the sequel is really serious, and it's really meditative on, like, the end of cowboy yeehaw fun time era, the government, fuck the U.S. government, that kind of stuff, and it's good. And I kind of doubt that fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 will be able to recapture that lightning in the bottle. The aesthetic is not fresh and new anymore. I have to imagine they'll have to retread quite a bit of ground, since there's only so much you can do with a Western setting, especially since it takes place earlier in time, like by fucking 40 years or some shit. So it doesn't have like the cool fucking Mauser pistol you could get. It ain't gonna have all the fucking cool, crazy, awesome guns you could get in Red Dead Redemption 1. Oh, man. I fucking love Red Dead Redemption 1. It's honestly, it's one of my favorite games, for sure. So you should play it if you haven't. I actually, I recently, it's really heartbreaking for me. My roommate, I was like, oh, dude, you should play Red Dead Redemption. So I like opened up my Xbox, and I put it in there, but I forgot that there was already a game in the disc tray. So I closed it, and then I hear, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to take the disc that was in there out of there. So I open it up, and thankfully the disc reader wasn't broken, nor was the game that I had put Red Dead Redemption on top of. But Red Dead Redemption itself had like these terrible fucking scratches, like in a big ring around it, and I'm like, oh god, it's not gonna work. And then I tried booting it up, and it didn't work. So now my copy of Red Dead Redemption is fucked up, which is a big tragedy because I've been meaning to replay that for a while now. But anyway, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm calling it now. It's probably gonna be mediocre, or at least in comparison. Like in the grand scheme of things, it'll probably be pretty good, kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5, but it'll probably just be another modern Rockstar game, that kind of thing. So leave a like if you agree, and share this video if you disagree, so that you can tell people.